All right, everybody, we are ready to get started. So we are doing it in English today. And I know that majority of our audience are from the Philippines. So welcome to everyone from the Philippines. Say hi to Charlotte in the chat for sure, because we have the #1 top earner in Australia, New Zealand. This lady is amazing, super, super inspiring. So let me just share with you a little bit of a story. So Charlotte and I spoke at the MLM Nation event probably about 3 years ago, right? And so we were having this dinner in Queensland, and across the table, I said to Charlotte, so what's your product? And she said, well, we have this one bottle of little yellow pill. And at the back of my head, I'm thinking, one bottle? I have a range of products. So I didn't even ask her what it is, to be honest. Like, I wasn't interested in one bottle of little yellow pill, because I had everything. And so little did I know that one day I'm going to be talking about that little yellow pill. And that's how Charlotte and the rest of the team really got started. And so today we are so honored to have you share with us how to end the month, because the most important thing is for us to really teach you right from the get start on how to end the month. So what an opportunity to have the top leader and top earner right here with us. So Charlotte is from Queensland, Australia, originally from South Africa. And this lady has done amazing things in the corporate world. And so good that she really has joined the network marketing space, because we have strong leaders like her who can drive growth and duplication and everything. She knows so much. So I know the second part of our training today, it's Q&A. So we're going to pick her brain. We also have Jasper as well to be able to do that. So I love Charlotte to share a bit of her story and take the floor. So over to you, Miss Charlotte, and thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Josie. Well, hello, everyone. And it's a great honor for me to speak with you tonight and to teach you some of the basics that I've learned as I've journeyed with LifeVantage. So a little bit of my story. I started in April 2016, so 5.5 years ago, and there was nothing happening in Australia. So I was pretty much a pioneer like you guys are right now in the Philippines. Started with 3 of my girlfriends, so didn't have a big database, didn't have huge experience, but what I did have was a huge hunger to really change things for my family. And I knew that if I found the right company and the right products, and the company was a good company with a good culture, a love for people, a love for caring for us and looking after us and paying us well, I believed that I could really have success, because all I had to do was just get over my own fears, my own limitations, learn, become a real student, and I could have success. And that's exactly what I did. So today we have, I'm Pro 9, which is $500,000 US a month in sales, and I'm working towards the next rank. But what's more exciting is the thousands and thousands of people, almost 30,000 people now, that we have helped to feel better, function better, be happier, just be more excited about life, but also in a big way, just enjoy a business, enjoy a good, strong business. I want to share with you that when I looked for this business, my one criteria was I wanted something that I believed that every minute that I spent working in it was building an asset for my children one day and for my grandchildren. You see, I was never interested in just making a bit of money quickly. I wanted long-term, stable, secure income with a company that I had the belief would be here forever. And that's what we found in LifeVantage. And I want you to know that that's what you have found. This company is unlike companies I've worked with before and I've seen before. They really do always come through for us. They always look after us. They pay us well. And we have the best product in the profession. So congratulations for being here, guys. I know if you put in the effort of working and working, you too will have incredible results. And you will look back like myself in 5 years' time and pinch yourself and say, oh my gosh, how did I get here? You know, I really believe that God has kept this thing a secret for you to be involved with right now in the Philippines. That's how I felt. I believe that it was kept for me because all those years and years where I was really searching for something, this had already been prepared for me. And today I am so, so grateful for the changes it's done in my life. So part of what we do as a distributor and of course as a leader is we want to ensure that we understand the company's policies and procedures, we understand the systems, and a lot of that comes to like a big I want to say a build up almost over month end. Has anybody felt the month end stress? Josie, I know you and I have had that many times where over month end, you know, you're running for a rank, or some of your team are running for a rank, or it may even just be to make sure that you close the month off really well. And so today I'm going to share with you some of the things that you have to look out for and you have to check when you do your month end closing. I'm also going to touch on doing a bit of structure stuff on how personally I have built and structured my business. I have spoken to most of the Pro 10s, many of the top elites, and really gone into their brain in depth about structure and how do we build, how do we position people to make sure that we get the best benefit long term. So I'm going to teach you tonight what I know, and then we'll break for some questions and you can ask me anything. Okay, let's start. So month end is extremely important, extremely important. All your work for the month comes to a big build up over month end, because month end you need to ensure that certain things are in place so that you can earn the commission, you can rank, maybe you can help other people, etc. So why is month end so important? Well, first of all, the system closes off at month end, and this is always MST time, so Utah and the USA time. So it gives us almost an extra day here in Australia, New Zealand, and the Philippines, which is fantastic, right? So normally on the first, make sure you have a look at what time is 12 midnight on the last day of the month, MST, or in Utah, and then make sure that you know that is the time when your account is going to close off to zero, and whatever is on that account at that time is what the system is going to use to calculate your commission for the next month. The second thing is your rank determines your commission. So if you miss out on a rank, you potentially are missing out on commission. And the rank may just be a couple of points. It may be 1,000 points. It may be that your PV is wrong, your personal volume is wrong, and you could miss out on commissions and a rank advance. So that's why month end is important. And the next thing is that, oh my goodness, the system switches back to zero. So the minute it's midnight Utah, USA, the system goes back to zero. So you can't come back on the second and say, oh, I quickly have to do this, I quickly have to do that. It's too late, right? Because all the volume has flushed to zero. And so first of all, there's a couple of checks that you yourself need to do on your business. And you also want to ensure that your team members do it. Now, the first check is PV. Very important. Your personal volume has to be, if your rank is between Pro 1 and Pro 5, it has to be at least 100 points for you to earn commission. And if you're a Pro 6 or higher, it needs to be 200 points. Now, from day one, I would encourage you to have a PV of 200 points, because that's where you earn the most commission on Smart Start bonus, the most commission on your residual income. So from day one, I strongly suggest that you get your mind ready to say, okay, I'm going to have a 200 PV every month. And what does this mean? Well, a PV, or your PV in your business, is calculated the following way. It's your personal order plus any volume that's been ordered by your personally enrolled customers, plus any volume that's been enrolled by your personally enrolled customers' referrals. So if your auntie is enrolled by you as a customer and she tells her sister to buy the product, and her sister buys it through her referral link so she can get a discount, her sister, your other auntie, will qualify towards your personal volume. And this is what I love about LifeVantage. There is no big monthly order requirement for the distributor. It is as simple as this. You personally need to have 40 points as your own purchase, so a product that's coming to your own house, and the rest of it, the other 160 points, can come from your customers or your customers' referrals, personally enrolled, right? So you never have to feel like, oh my gosh, I have to buy 200 points worth of product. You don't. All you need is a 40-point order for yourself and 160 points ordered through your personally enrolled and their referrals. And every month when they order again, those points again count towards your PV. So it's ideal to have 4 customers personally enrolled on Pro Tandem NRF2 every month for the rest of your life, right? Because that means you have to order 1 bottle, which is 40 points. They each order, the 4 of them each order 1, and you have got enough volume to ensure that your PV is always accurate for high commission, which is wonderful. Now, if you are a Pro 4 or above, you will have a second business center. Ensure that you check the PV on all of those accounts if you want them to earn commission. Now, some of those accounts you may not activate straight away because you want to first build some volume under them on the second business center and the third business center and the 4th one eventually, for them to start becoming profitable. But speak to your sponsor or your upline on when is it a good time to activate those accounts so that you can earn some commission. Right, the next thing, the next month-end check is that you want to ensure, my friend, that you're going to earn launch bonus and matching bonus. And to be able to earn a launch bonus or a matching bonus, you have to be at least a Pro 3. So ensure that you stay an active Pro 3. The next thing is, if you want to earn matching bonus, you also have to do at least 100 PV in new personally enrolled volume for the month. And the volume can come from customers or distributors, it doesn't matter, but you have to at least have enrolled 100 coins for the month. Super simple to do, right, guys? The next thing is to earn full matching bonus. You want to have at least 200 PV. If you don't, if you have between 100 and 199, you're going to earn 50% of the matching bonus. So the full matching bonus is only paid out if your PV is 200 or more. You see why I say just have 200 PV? Because you never fall short then of earning the full commission. So the next thing is checking for your qualification detail. So the first check was PV. The second check was make sure you're a Pro 3 so you can earn launch bonus and matching bonus. The third check is to check your qualification detail. Now, when you log into your back office, if you go to the home screen, on the left-hand side at the bottom, you'll see something that says OV and PV. You can click on the PV and it's going to show you behind that little bar what exactly your PV is. How much was your own order and how much came from your customers and their referrals. When you click on the OV, the same thing will happen. It's going to show you a breakdown of your leg split in your business. So it's going to say leg 1 has so much, leg 2 has so much, etc. Now, this is where you're going to use those numbers to calculate what you still need for your next rank. And you may find, oh my gosh, I'm 500 points away. Well, I'm going to go find that. I've got 2 days left. I'm going to go find the 500 points. That's going to help me to rank. Okay, which is going to open up new commission levels for you, which is going to show your team that you're doing it. It's going to motivate and inspire, and it has so many positive effects when you rank. So always look at the qualification details in your back office to see how close you are to your next rank. Now remember, when you move people in your holding tank, and we're going to look at that in a second, when you move people from where they've been placed when you first enrolled them, which is directly under you, and you move them somewhere else, just keep in mind that the volume moves with them. So when you do your check on do you qualify for a new rank, make sure you do the check based on where you're moving people to. You don't want to see you qualify and then you move somebody into a different spot and that makes you not qualify. And as you journey with us, guys, you will learn more about those leg split, but I'm going to actually show you some of that stuff tonight. Now, the next one, and this is something I do every month, is I check. Part of my month-end checks is to ensure that I am not missing out on any incentives or promotions. How many of you have come to month-end and you're like, oh my goodness, I should have just had one more customer enrollment and I would have earned a bonus or I would have earned an incentive. Oh my gosh, that is so painful. So what do? I go into, we get a weekly message that shows us what incentives and promotions are running. I go back into that. I make a quick double check to ensure that if I could qualify for anything that I do and I don't miss out. So that's part of your month-end checks, because most promotions and incentives run month by month. Okay, so this is a big one. We now have done our checks. We've checked PV, we've checked OV, we've checked if we qualify for a new rank, we've checked if we qualify for all the commission, launch bonus, matching bonus, residual as much as we can with that higher rank. Now we've got to look at who have we enrolled, who is sitting in our placement, in our holding tank, and who do we need to move to another spot. So let me show you what I do. So first of all, let me explain what is this holding tank. The holding tank is basically like a waiting room that LifeVantage created for us to give us time to move people that we enroll to positions where we want them to be in our tree, in our business. So this is wonderful. You don't get pressurized when you do the actual enrollment to decide immediately where you're placing the person. No, you actually get given 30 days from the enrollment to place them. Now, remember, I want to say this again, because some people, and this has happened to myself too in the beginning, if you don't place that person, or if you do, like whichever you do, remember that month end, their volume will go back to 0 as well. So the volume doesn't sit there for 30 days. The volume is only there for the calendar month, and then it goes to 0 as well. And keep that in mind when you're looking at your placements. So you have 30 days from the time that you've enrolled a customer or a distributor to decide where you're going to put them in your business. If you don't move them within the 30 days, and look, you're not going to get any warning from LifeVantage. They don't send you a message to say, hey, so-and-so is going to expire in your holding tank. No, if you don't move them, you just don't move them. But then what happens is they stay forever right under you. We call this frontline to you, right? They stay right under you forever, and you don't necessarily want that. Okay, so always make sure that you diarize your holding tank. Now, I don't diarize 30 days, 30 days, 30 days, because honestly, I just don't have the time. But what I do is at month end, around the 28th, 29th of every month, I have a diarized to go and have a look, do all my checks, look at my holding tank, decide where I'm going to put, who I'm going to put where, and do all that stuff before month end. So I'm in a routine to know that on the 28th or 29th, or sometimes it's the 30th of the month, I will go in and make all that stuff happen so that I don't lose out moving people. So very important. Now, where's your holding tank? If you go into your back office and you have a look at the very top, there's a little tab that says downline. If you click on that, on the left-hand side, you'll see an item that says holding tank. And when you click on that, it should show you everybody that you've enrolled in the last 30 days and you have not moved to a different spot in your tree. Now, it's super, super easy to change to where they're going to be positioned, and I'm going to show you tonight how to do that. But remember this, once you've changed them, you've moved them, it's permanent, right, Josie? It's permanent. You can't tomorrow say, oh gosh, oh dear, I should have put them somewhere else. Sorry, it's too late. So when you move them, be double, triple, quadruple sure that you're putting them in the right place. You can only move them once. So how to decide where to place your people. So let me share with you a couple of things to consider. For me, and you know, I was coached by Rachel. Rachel always said to me, put the oxygen mask on yourself and your family first when you look at placement. So you always consider your BC1, your main business centers, rank, leg split, and total volume. What do you need to do there? Where's the best position for your BC1 to position that new distributor? Then you look at, okay, so this person that I've just enrolled, let's say the person is from New Zealand, and you think, oh my gosh, I could do with a volume on my leg where I have New Zealand distributors. So maybe I should just place them all together so that geographically they're all in the same area. Okay, so you could do that. You could consider positioning where they live, so they work together. The next thing you consider is relationships. Let's say you've got a team that's joined you and they're all friends, and you're not going to split them up, right? You're going to want to keep them together. So you may then consider to position them all together on a leg. The next thing you may look at is who in my team, and it doesn't have to be personally enrolled, not necessarily, but who in my team is an absolute shining star. Now remember the sequence in which you do this. First, you look at where do you need the volume. Then you look at, well, in that leg, who there is from the same area, who maybe has a relationship, and who is a top worker, who's always showing up for everything, who's taking lots of action. Maybe you want to help them and place under them. And then are they a distributor, a customer, or a future distributor potentially? And we're going to look at my little routine, guys, and when I'm looking at my holding tank on how I dissect who is who in the zoo. But you're going to consider, is it a distributor? Is it a customer? Or is it a customer who may in the future be a distributor? And a distributor you'll place in a different spot than a customer. And a customer who in the future may be a distributor, you'll place differently to the way you'll place a customer as well. You treat them more like a distributor. So you want to consider who they are and what do they do. Now, it's really important for you to understand the comp plan and how ranks work when you make the decisions on where to place people. Our comp plan, if you have a look in your back office, guys, under communication, then select library, and you'll see there's a document there called compensation plan highlights. And in that document, it's a one-page document that I slept with this document next to my bed for about 6 weeks. Every time I woke up at night and I couldn't sleep because LifeVantage keeps you awake, right? I just looked at it and I just learned and learned and learned and learned. And the comp plan, you can ask me any question on the comp plan and I'm pretty confident I can answer that. So print out that document, keep it with you, learn it, learn it, learn it, learn it, because it's going to just make stuff flow easier for you. But this is one of the tables on that document. And this table here shows you what the different ranks are in LifeVantage. We have premier ranks. From Pro 4 to Pro 6 is premier ranks. From Pro 7 to Pro 9 is called elite. So you say Premier Pro 4, Premier Pro 5, Premier Pro 6, Elite Pro 7, Elite Pro 8. Our amazing Josie is Elite Pro 8, Elite Pro 9 is myself, and then Master Pro 10, Master Executive Pro 10, Master Presidential Pro 10. That's how we call our ranks in LifeVantage. So here it shows you the different ranks, starting as a distributor from Pro 1 all the way up to Master Presidential Pro 10, right? And here it shows you what's the minimum PV to have for all of these guys, all these ranks, so that you can earn commission. Now, remember this, there's different requirements for PV for different components of our comp plan. In other words, Smart Start bonus has a different PV requirement to unilevel commissions. But in total, the minimum PV you need to earn commission is 100, and the best PV to have is 200 because that's where everything opens up. Okay, so minimum PV. Then it shows you out of that PV what has to be at least as a minimum your personal order. And here you see it, it's 40 all the way through. I mean, guys, can you believe that a company will pay a Master Pro 10 $130,000 US a month, and the only requirement they've placed on them in terms of what they have to buy is 1 bottle of Pro Tandem? Isn't that incredible? That's what LifeVantage does. So for all of us, we have to be at least on a personal order of 40 points, 1 bottle, so that we commission eligible. Okay, the next thing here is the minimum total overall volume. So OV stands for overall volume. And this is the total volume in your entire business. This is everybody's orders, all new enrollments, all repeat orders, all once-off orders, every single thing adds up to your OV, okay? Now, for Pro 1, it's 1,000. Pro 2, it's 2,500. Pro 3, it's 5,000. And so it keeps going up to 5 million. And this is per month. Remember at the beginning, I said at the end of the month, our volume goes to 0. Well, that's what happens. It goes to 0. And then if you're a Pro 1 and you want to maintain as a Pro 1 that month, you need to put another 1,000 through in volume that month. Now, some of that volume is going to be new enrollments. Some of them will be existing people buying again. And some of them will be existing people just buying another once-off product, maybe to trial the hair care or the skin care or whatever else, right? The next one here to be rank, to understand ranks is, sorry, I should have done this, is legs. what is the leg split requirement, or leg requirement, should I say? Now, for just being a distributor, there's 0 requirements. For being a Pro 1, you've got to have at least 1 leg, which you will do. A Pro 2, 2 legs, up to Pro 4. And then from Pro 3 right up to Pro 11, so up to Pro 10, 3 legs is required. The next thing to consider, guys, and understand is the leg split. Now, this sometimes can be super confusing, but I'm hoping by the end of tonight, you're going to really understand this. I want you to picture this. Let's look at somebody with 3 legs in their business. One of the legs has a maximum volume that it can count towards the total volume for that rank. And one of the legs has a minimum volume, and the rest can be anything. Okay, so this is how the system works out. What is our biggest, second biggest, third biggest, etc. legs? It only gives us 3. It gives you the biggest leg as your leg number 1, the second biggest leg as your leg number 2, and everything else pulled together, including your personal order, becomes your combined leg. You see here it says combined leg. So let me say this again. The biggest leg will be leg 1. The second biggest leg will show up as leg 2. And then everything else outside of that, everything else, including your personal order, becomes the volume in your combined leg. And this is what LifeVantage says. If you are a Pro 2 up to a Pro 4, your biggest leg, your high leg, your leg number 1, can only count towards 80% of the volume that's needed for your rank. So if we look at a Pro 2, 80% of the 2,500 in volume is 2,000. So their biggest leg, even if it's a 3,000 leg, it doesn't matter. They can only use 2,000 of that towards their rank. And they need to have at least 500 points, which is 10% of this required amount. Sorry, that's not, oh, sorry, 20% on this one, and their combined or other legs. So let's look at Pro 3. Pro 5 is 3 legs, right? And it's a 20,000 volume. So let's think about that again. The biggest leg, and then the second leg, and then the combined leg. So LifeVantage says your biggest leg can only count 60% towards your volume, which is 12,000. Your combined leg, so this is everything outside of leg 1 and 2, needs to be at least 2,000, so 10% of what's needed, and then you qualify. Isn't that awesome? So your total volume has to be 20. Your biggest leg can only be 12. It can be bigger, but you can only count 12,000 of that. And then your combined leg, which is everything outside of leg 1 and leg 2, needs to be at least 10%, which is 2,000. And guys, that's pretty much how leg split works. Now, don't be sad if you don't get it straight up, because it can take sometimes a long time. But I've got a couple of examples here that I want to show you. Let me go back there and let's look at this together. So my example here for you is a Pro 3. And if we look at Pro 3, it's 5,000 in volume. It's the 80% is your biggest leg. So your high leg can't count more than 80%. So in a perfect world, that's 4,000 points, right? And your combined leg, so everything outside of leg 1 needs to be at least 1,000, which in this example it is. So 4,000 plus 1,000 gives you 5,000. So tick, you've got the full volume. Tick, you've done your 40 PV in your own order. Tick, you're sitting on 100 PV in total. Tick, you've got 1, 2 legs. Tick, you've used 80% only of leg 1. And tick, leg number 2 or combined leg is at least 1,000. So what does that mean? Congratulations, you've ranked to Pro 3. Isn't that awesome? Let's look at this example. So this person has 5,000 in volume. Leg 1 is 4,100. Leg 2 is 900. So they have the total volume. I want you to go into the chat and put in there for me if this person qualifies for Pro 3, yes or no. Let's see what you guys say. No, 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 no. Anybody think yes? Gosh, Josie, this is a smart bunch. No? Come on, does anybody think yes? Because they got 5,000 points. Yes, they are. Oh, Josie's saying yes, they are. They got 5,000 points, right? So they should be a Pro 3. Not true? No, they're not. Why? Because this leg, which what does the comp plan say? The combined leg needs to be at least 1,000 and it's only 900. So even though they've got a full 5,000 points, sorry, you don't qualify. You see? Super, super awesome, guys. I'm so glad you're getting this. Let's look at another example. So this example for you is the perfect split. If you want to build a business and have the perfect split, which I wish we could, it would be so awesome if we could, because you never know what people are going to do. It's pretty unpredictable. But the perfect split, guys, is not 80-20. The perfect split is 50-50. Build your legs equally and you will never have drama with split. Does that make sense? The perfect split is not 80-20. LifeVantage is saying you can't exceed that. The perfect split is 50-50. Build your legs as equal as you can. Okay, let's look at this Pro 5. So Pro 5 is 20,000 in volume. Now let's look here. It says the maximum that your biggest leg can count is 60%, which we know is 12,000 points. Awesome, tick. So again, this person's got 100 PV, they've done their 40, they've got 20,000 in volume, you can see that here. They've got 1, 2, 3 legs, and their biggest leg is only 60%, or we count 60% of that. So that's awesome. Now the next requirement is their combined leg. So what's a combined leg? Put in the chat for me. What counts as your combined leg for a Pro 5? What counts as your combined leg for a Pro 5? Come on, guys. I know it's late. So what makes up your combined leg as a Pro 5? 2,000 points, yep. But how do we calculate that 2,000? Jay's saying leg 3, yes. But it could also be leg 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10, because it's everything outside of leg 1 and leg 2. Because leg 1 is your maximum leg, leg 2 is your second biggest leg, and leg 3 becomes everything outside of leg 1 and 2 combined, and you add your personal order with that. So I saw somebody asked, Dinah asked about your personal PV. Somebody else asked, I saw Josie, you answered that, but your personal, remember this guys, your personal orders always goes towards your weakest leg. Isn't that awesome? Oh my gosh, I mean, LifeVantage could have said, no, your personal order is going towards your biggest leg, but no, your personal order always counts towards your weakest leg to give you more volume there. Awesome, awesome. So let me say that again. For Pro 1, 2, and 3, and 4, maximum leg here is leg 1. There's one big leg. Everything outside of leg 1 becomes your combined leg. For Pro 5 and above, because you've now got 3 legs, your biggest leg and your second biggest leg are excluded from the combined leg. Everything else, including your personal order, counts as that combined leg. Okay? Right, let's look at this one. So here's an example for you. This person has 21,000 points. This is calculated wrong. Sorry, that should be 21,000. So on the strongest leg, they have 13,000, which we know we can count 12 of. On the combined leg, they have 1,000. In their middle leg, their second strongest leg, they have 7,000. So in total, it's 21. Put in the chat, do they qualify, yes or no? Jasper is onto it so quick. No, 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 no. Come on, anybody say yes? Because they got 20,000 points. Okay, tell me why. So I know you're not all just copying Jasper. Tell me why. Why don't they qualify? They didn't meet the minimum. Yes, yes, yes. Awesome. You guys are getting this. So again, that's the full volume, right? The maximum can only be 60%, which even though their leg is 13,000, they're getting paid commission on that. Nobody's taking anything away from them. They just can't use that additional 1,000 on there to count towards their rank. So that's a tick. They can use 12,000 there. But here's the problem. You see, their combined leg for a Pro 5 is everything outside of leg 1 and 2. So leg 1, they can't count. Leg 2, they can't count. Everything else only comes to 1,000, and it's got to be 2,000. So even though this poor guy is sitting on 21,000 points, they're not making it. They got to go another 1,000 on the outside legs to be able to qualify. So cool. Oh my goodness, I got a double cross. Okay, let's look at this. The perfect split again, and this is just, guys, so easy to understand. Your perfect split is not 60, 30, 10. It's not what the company is saying that this split can be as the maximum. Your perfect split is 33, 33, 33. Build your legs as equal as you can. That's your perfect split. Okay, so how do I train structure? What do I say to people to do? Well, we know that from Pro 5, you need 3 legs. So generally, I'll say to somebody when they first start, up to Pro 4, let's start with 2 legs. Bring in whatever distributors you have. Let's place them under each other and build you 2 strong legs. When you Pro 4, you've got enough time, because you're going to double up in your volume, to create that outside 3rd leg. But if you want, you can start straight up from day 1, building 3 legs. There's a difference in going wide and leaving everybody frontline to you, which is another option, versus building depth. And what happens with width is sometimes you can increase your commission, not always, but your business is very unstable. There's no security in there because there's nobody working with other people helping one another. When you build width, so you've got enough width, but you've got depth as well, you're building a much more secure business. And what you'll do, guys, is later on, as your business is established, you start changing the way that you place, because then you can afford to go wider because you've got security in your main business. So as you journey and you grow and your business grows, we will teach you how to place differently. But as a starting business, this is pretty much what you do. You then, if you bring in your next people, you place under them. Your next people, you place under them, so that you start creating great teams that work together and succeed together. And it just keeps your business a lot stronger than leaving people just one. You're all sitting on their own and there's no additional support. What happens when you hit Pro 4, you get BC2. When you hit price 6, you get BC3. Now, BC2 always has to be frontline to BC1. It's always going to run straight off your main business center. When you get BC3 at price 6, you can decide to either have it as another leg just off of BC1, or you can place it as a leg on BC2. And again, it all depends on the strength in your legs in your business when you get there. So this is just to show you what eventually will happen in your business if you choose to build this way. Let me say to you that your decision on your structure is your decision. We can only guide you. Your coaches, your leaders, your mentors can guide you based on what we know. But at the end of the day, you need to make the decision on where you're going to place people. You can't come back and blame myself or Josie or Jasper or anybody else. It is your decision, right? So it's very, very important that you decide where you want to build. One of the reasons I like to build at least 4 legs is because this happened to me. I think it's about 18 months into starting with LifeVantage. One of my teams, and it was an entire team, left LifeVantage and joined crypto. Oh my goodness. And the company that they all joined has all folded and the whole thing's gone belly up. So I feel so sorry for them. But honestly, guys, this is what happened to my business. Now imagine if I only had 3 legs. Straight away, I would have lost my rank. But no, I've gone ahead and I had 4 legs. It's because I knew if one of them potentially collapsed, that I would still have 3 to get me to ranking and to maintain my rank. So be very careful to not build too narrow. You want to just have a little bit more safety. Okay. Now, the next thing when it comes to placement is your customers. Customers should be placed in a different spot. And the reason for that is that you can earn 9% ongoing commission on their repeat orders. Now, if you have a look at our uni-level commission, it says the first person who gets paid gets 2%, the second gets 5%, and the third gets 9%. See? So you always want to ensure that you are between 2 or between you and where you place the customers down here, you have 2 distributors that are active and earning a commission. For instance, let's say this is me. Let's say this is Josie and this is Jasper. I'm not going to place my customers under Josie because Josie will earn 2%. I'm going to earn 5%. I'm not going to place my customers directly under me because I'm going to earn 2%. But I'm going to go place my customers under Jasper because he's going to earn 2%. Josie's going to earn 5% and I'm going to earn 9%, right? And even better, if you have family in your business, let me give you an example. Let's say this is my daughter and this is my dad. I'm going to place my customers here. So every time when they order again, my daddy is earning 2%, my beautiful daughter is earning 5%, and I'm earning 9%. That means I'm keeping the full commission within my family. And you, my friend, can do exactly the same. So remember, it's not the 3rd level. Because this could be a distributor that's dormant, that does nothing. This could be a distributor that's active. There could be another one under here that's dormant. There could be another 5 under them that's dormant. You count 1 that's being paid, 2 that's being paid, and under that second one is where you place your customers. Okay, very, very important. Now, initially, it doesn't make such a big difference, guys. You're only talking a few dollars, but later on, it's the difference between earning $200 versus $900 of commission. Huge difference, right? If you're looking at bigger volume. So I hope that's helped. Now, my month-end placement routine is this. I tell everybody to leave me alone because I've got to concentrate, right? So I try and find a quiet spot and just a time where I can just really look at figures and stuff and concentrate. I check my volume. I check my split, and I check my rank to see where can I go next? Where do I need volume? Which leg is the weakest? Which leg may even have dropped back from last month? Which leg has grown the most? I do a quick little check on my volume. The next thing I do is I check my PV on all my business centers. I go into every single one of them and I make sure that I've got at least 200 PV. Let me share with you that you cannot enroll through BC2, BC3, BC4. You always only enroll through BC1. You can't earn commission through BC2, 3, and 4 for Smart Start, right, for enrollments. So you always enroll under BC1. But to be able to boost your PV for BC2 or BC3, you can ask customer service to change the sponsor to your BC2 for a customer account. And what that does is it now takes that customer's order and adds it to your BC2 or BC3's PV. So you don't have to buy the 100 or 200 points in product again. All you've got to do is 40 points, and customer service will change some of your enrollments to show your second or third business center as the sponsor, so that the orders count as your PV on those. So I check my PV. Then I look at, in our back office on the right-hand side, there's a report that says close to ranks. I forget what the exact name is, but it basically, if you click on there, it's going to show you Pro 1, Pro 2, Pro 3, Pro 4, Pro 5, Pro 6, Pro 7, Pro 8, Pro 9, Pro 10, who, and you know, obviously, like, we'll get there one day, right? But it shows you who's close to a rank, and it'll show you what volume they have and how much they need. So I go in there and I have a look at that report. And generally I'm looking at my 4s, my 5s, my 6s, my 7s, right? Because my business is so much older now than yours. You may look at 1s and 2s and 3s still at this stage. So I look at that and I look at, well, who is my person enrolled and who can I potentially help to get to that rank. So it helps me, instead of having to go into 100 different inquiries, there's one report that I can look at that shows me who's close to a rank. Then I go into my holding tank and I have a piece of paper and a pen and I write down everybody that's in my holding tank. Then next to their name, I put a D if it's a distributor, I put a C if it's a customer, and I put a CD if it's a customer who may become a distributor in the future. So a D for distributors, a C for customers, and a CD if it's a customer who may upgrade in the future to being a distributor. Then I look at my distributors and I rank them from a 1 to whatever. Let's say I've got 5 in there. I look at who do I think will be the strongest, and I rank and rate them from 1 to 5. Okay. And now I'm going to look at where do I need the volume. So based on rank, legs, split, geography, who's friends, where do I want my customers for my 9% residual, I'm going to work out where to place each one of those guys individually. And I actually will draw it out. I will draw it out. I'm not going to draw my whole tree because that's impossible, but I'm going to just draw out where I'm going to place those guys so that when I send the instruction through to customer service, if I have to, that I don't make a mistake. Okay. So my next step now is to get the placements done. Now in our system, you can't through your holding tank place a customer under, sorry, you can't place under a customer. You can only place under distributors yourself. So if you want to place anybody under a customer, you need to send an email to customer service. And you're going to say the heading will be month-end placements effective the 30th of November. You want them to backdate it, right? Because you have a day or two actually after month end to still get the corporate team to help you backdate stuff if needed. So you're either going to say these need to be done by month end, or you're going to say, can you backdate them to month end? So that's your heading. And you're going to say, please place Charlotte Venter ID 12345 under Josie Tong ID 7891011. Right? And then you go to the next one, place, let's say Jasper ID number under Josie ID number, and then you do the next one, place, and you just do that and do that until you've written them all down. And these are for ones that you can't do yourself. The ones that you can do yourself that are in your holding tank, because you're just placing them under other distributors, it's simple. You go into your holding tank, you select the person you want to change, you click on change next to their name. It's going to ask you to insert an ID number. You put in the ID number, you click on verify, and then once you've verified and you see that it is there, you click on confirm, and the system will automatically place them. Now make sure you do these in sequence. Make sure that if there's placements that you need to do in your holding tank before you send your email to customer service, that you've done those. Lastly, a couple of basics to apply, guys, is diarize to do your own personal month-end checks and placements. And then diarize to reach out to your team at the same time and suggest that they do theirs and offer some help. Remember this, it's never okay, and I've put this in capitals, it's never okay to ask your upline for volume. Never. I remember a coaching from Rachel ages ago about this, and she was mad. She's like, never, ever, ever ask me for people. And it's the same with myself, and I know with all the leaders. It's just, our business is not one where you can expect people to place people under you. If they do that, it's just amazing. It's a bonus. I don't believe I've ever had anybody put under me by Rachel. Maybe one, maybe two, but none of them have actually done anything. But I've never asked, right? I've never ever asked to. So it's not an okay thing to do, guys. Rather work hard and show your sponsor and your upline that you're working super hard, and when they do their placements, they will consider you. Work with your sponsor, your upline month end, and look at your placements together. It's always a really good idea to run your moving of people by somebody else just to get a second opinion. Make sure to look at your leg balance, your split before you make your final moves, and also look at your team and see if by placing a person under one of them may just help them rank. And that's it. That's it. That's my month-end checks and the way I look at structures. So Josie, I hope that's been helpful. I'm not sure if there's any questions, Josie, but I'm happy to answer them.
Yeah. Can we get anybody unmute and ask questions? This is a perfect time. We have the best of the best right here with us. So let's see who here is ready to ask questions. So let me just turn off the recording. So this is the recording for the end of the month procedure. That was definitely so detailed. So review that again, watch it over and over and over. So thank you so much for that, Charlotte.